Jamie, and welcome back to my channel, JamieSageKnits. Today I'll be sharing my second podcast episode, which I'm super excited for because I have some finished objects to share, a couple of works in progress that I'm really looking forward to and enjoying, and also some pretty cool acquisitions. So stay tuned towards the end of the video to see those, including my Rhinebeck purchases. And I will be uploading a more in-depth Rhinebeck vlog with some clips from the weekend and myself and a couple of friends reporting on our experiences. But I think I'm going to upload this video first just based on when my friends will be able to film. We didn't have a chance to actually sit down and film that weekend since it was so busy. But for today, I'm really looking forward to sharing some stuff with you. First off, I want to mention the shirt that I'm wearing right now is the Camisole No. 9 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I knitted this in Knitting for Olive Merino in the color Coal. It took about 2 skeins or 500 meters, which is 100 grams. So this is, in my opinion, a very classic design. It is kind of hard to see, I think, because I knit it in black, but the sample on Ravelry is in black, and I just kind of fell in love with it. Such a staple. It's really wearable. Even though it's in merino, I consider it pretty breathable, so I have been able to wear it throughout the summer. And it is unseasonably warm right now in New York City, where I'm located, so I have been getting a little bit of final wear out of it before switching over my closet for the fall and winter. Just wanted to mention that, and then with that we can maybe dive into my big finished project. I have a lot of things to talk about today, so they're kind of sprawled around me here in my little office setup, so you might see me like reaching over and stuff. Just bear with me. The first thing I want to talk about is my, where are we? Here we go. My Wishbone Sweater is complete. I hopefully will be able to insert a clip or 2 of me wearing this, so you'll be able to see it on, but I'm so excited. I think it looks so beautiful. The shoulder construction looks like a little weird off the body just because it's so long, but I think on it looks okay. I will say, I think I had mentioned when I talked about this in a previous podcast episode, or maybe my fall knitting plans, that I wanted to make an oversized fit, and in hindsight, I think that was a little bit of a mistake. I don't think this sweater actually lends itself super well to an oversized fit because a lot of the construction is kind of tailored. And I think it's okay. Like you'll see in the clips, it doesn't look terrible, especially if I roll the collar down, which is a little disappointing because I feel like the funnel neck was a design aspect that I thought was interesting, but I think it just looked kind of crazy because I made it too big. If I were to make it again, I think I would knit the yoke true to size, and then I might add a couple of increases early on in the torso so that it hangs a little bit more. I might make it longer just so that there is still that oversized vibe, but that there's not like too much fabric in the yoke, because that's kind of how it turned out. But that's totally on me. I did knit larger than the recommended size just because I wanted some positive ease. And overall, I am really happy with it. I think it looks beautiful. And let me back up a little bit and just tell you a little more about the sweater itself. So this is a top-down construction, drop shoulder with optional short row shaping, which you can see I did. The sizing ranges from a bust of 33 to 55 inches. And it is recommended to knit on I think 5mm needles. So what is that? Maybe like a worsted weight gauge. And I held together Drops Daisy in the color Light Nougat with Drops Kid Silk in the color Light Beige. So I think that's a DK weight with lace weight mohair, or I imagine you could also do a single yarn in worsted weight. So I really enjoyed that combination. I think it leads to such beautiful stitch definition in the cables. And you might notice this is post blocking, so the cables have loosened really nicely. I did measure the sizing and pinned it very precisely because I did want the oversized fit and the sizing that I had mentioned, and I also wanted to make sure that the fabric stretched a bit so that the cables could relax, and I think they look so beautiful. I'm really excited to get some wear out of this, but like I mentioned, it's been so warm I haven't been able to wear it in the wild yet. However, I did enter this in the handmade garments contest at Rhinebeck, and I got 5th place in my category, so I got this little ribbon, and so that was pretty fun. So Yeah, that also gave me some motivation to finish it up because this is knit all in half twisted rib, and obviously there's this very consistent cable motif, so it's pretty time consuming while also not being like the most exciting. So it was nice to have that motivation to get it done by like mid-October. And I think it dried and finished blocking like the day before I left, so I cut it a little close, but I am really happy with the result. And like I said, I can't wait to wear it. I think it'll be really warm and cozy, and I'll get hopefully a lot of wear out of it this fall. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to mention about it, but I don't think so. I would say that I would recommend it. Oh, I was gonna say, I feel like because of like the shaping and everything going on in the shoulder area, it was really fun and engaging until like splitting for the torso and the sleeves, and then picking up the sleeves actually wasn't so bad, and then knitting down the sleeves wasn't so bad either because it's a pretty small circumference. And then for some reason I really love the cuff, how it's like kind of a loose cuff. Yeah, I'm just super happy with it. I did run a little bit low on yarn. Like I intentionally did the sleeves first. I think I mentioned that in my fall knitting plans, and I had left the body, and then you can see the ribbing is like a little shorter on the body than on the sleeves. That's because I think I was only supposed to do like 2 more rows, but I was weighing my yarn, and I knew it needed to be my last row, and sure enough, I ended with like, it was perfect. It was like the greatest game of yarn chicken ever. I knew I would need to cast off, and yeah, I'm really happy with it. I'm rambling a little bit. I'm just really excited about this project. I think it's like the most time consuming project that I've ever done, and I'm really proud of it. So I was worried that I was gonna like knit one of the cables the wrong way, and I think I did early on, but it was like I caught it soon enough. I only had to like frog back 1 row and was able to fix it. And looking at it, I don't think I've made any mistakes with the cables, knock on wood. So yeah, I'm super proud of it and can't wait to wear it. The other completed item or items that I have to share, I had mentioned in a previous video that I want to make small accessories for my bachelorette party guests, and I was thinking of like headbands or mitts or fingerless gloves, and I decided to make headbands because I have I think 10 to make, so I have to make a lot of them. And I also thought headbands would be more forgiving with like sizing compared to fingerless gloves because I don't know people's exact size, so I decided to do that. And I was looking through Ravelry. I was ideally looking for a free pattern. I feel like for headbands that's not too hard to find, and I decided on the Lido Brioche headband by Domenica Penduzu, and I thought this was a really cute, pretty simple pattern. It's like really squishy and nice from the brioche. It has like the little interest of the twist in it, and I thought it would be straightforward enough to do. So I've made, well, I'll just show you my whole little pile here. Whoop. I've completed a bunch, but I am keeping 2 of them for myself. This one I'm just like so in love with. I had mentioned this yarn in a previous video. This is Plymouth Yarn Yakima in the color teal. So I believe this is a 90% merino, 10% yak yarn, and is 90% superwash merino, and it is fingering weight. So I held it double along with Drops Kid Silk in the color North Sea, and it is just so squishy, so delightful. I think the color is beautiful, and so I am gonna keep one, give one to a friend. So I lost one from my number there, and then another one that I want to keep is knit in Malabrigo Mecca in the color Zinnias, and I just think this is such a beautiful color. I'm obsessed with it, and for some reason I knit one of them really small, but I think I'm gonna keep that one. Uh-oh, I'm gonna mess up my hair. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep this one. I don't mind that it's like a little tight. So I am loving this. This one I just held the yarn single because it's bulky weight, and I think it looks so beautiful. There's no fuzz, but I think almost all of the other ones I held with mohair or brushed alpaca silk. So this is the only other one that I knit alone. This is We Are Knitters petite wool in the color Spotted Blue. One person requested navy blue color. And I think I had mentioned I was collecting details for the weekend, and I just asked people, like, what's your favorite color for wearable accessories? But I didn't specify it would be something knitted. I think some people probably could guess because they know I love knitting. But I feel like there's enough room that maybe they would think it's something else, and hopefully they'll be surprised. But this one, again, is just so plushy, so lovely and beautiful. And then the last base yarn that I've been using thus far is, again, from Malabrigo. It's Malabrigo worsted in the color Orchid. This one is actually two of these. These are both held with Drops Kid Silk in the color Off-White. And then this one is the same base yarn, but held with Drops Brushed Alpaca Silk in the color Off-White. So you can see the alpaca silk is a bit fluffier. It definitely impacts the color more and makes it into a lighter purple, whereas the kid silk definitely still has an impact, but not quite as much. And currently on my needles, I'm working on another one of the Malabrigo worsted in Orchid, held together with the brushed alpaca silk. So I think I will make this one, I'll make another of this one, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'm gonna make one in a magenta color. I have to see what is in my stash for that. And then I have to make another one in a blue color. And I will show the yarns later because that one will be knit with some yarns I've recently acquired. So a lot going on there. I thought it would be fun to show, even though there's some smaller and more simple projects. It's super fast. I would say each of those, depending on the, and I used, I think 4.5 to 6 millimeter needles, depending on the yarn weight, and 15 to 17 stitches across, or 15 or 17. It has to be an odd number for the brioche. So I've been really enjoying that. I've heard a lot of people feel like kind of apprehensive about brioche, but I think it's really easy. The hard thing about it is if you drop a stitch, it's hard to like fix it compared to like stockinette. But with a small project like this, it doesn't really matter. I definitely have a couple of mistakes in these projects, and I kind of just figured it out, and it's hidden. And yeah, I would really recommend this pattern. It's free, it's super quick. I forget if I said it probably takes like 3 to 4 hours per headband, so you can literally do it in like one day. And then have a cute accessory. And something I really like about it is obviously sometimes I like to wear my hair up, and then it makes it hard to wear a hat. So a headband is a great kind of warm winter accessory, and it's also nice for the transitional seasons when your ears are a little chilly, you don't need a full-on hat. I really like it for that purpose. So I'm really excited. I feel a little silly that I'm like poaching 2 of the headbands out of the ones I've made, but I feel like we maybe could have seen that coming. When you're working with such beautiful yarns, it's hard not to fall in love and want to keep it for yourself. But I think from now on, I have enough of my own. I'm gonna forge ahead, and I think I have like three more plus the one I'm working on. So I should be able to finish that up in the next few days, as long as I do like one per day. And it's really mindless. Like once you get into the brioche, super easy. So yeah. The next thing I want to talk about, I had mentioned in my fall knitting plans, I just want to give a little update. This is the Caramel Sweater by Petite Knit. This is a pretty classic raglan turtleneck with 2x2 ribbing for the neck, cuffs, hem. And I'm knitting this. It's on 4 millimeter needles. I forget if she recommended 3.5 or 4 millimeter. Like some other people that I've seen on YouTube, I typically have to size up for her patterns because I'm a tighter knitter. And I am knitting this in Drops Flora in the color red, held together with Drops Kid Silk in the color red as well. I am so excited. Whenever I look at this, I'm like, I want to finish it. The color is so beautiful. I can't wait to wear it. It matches perfectly with my lipstick. And the main thing I wanted to update on this is that I had ordered, I'll talk about this more in the acquisitions, but I ordered my first set of 16-inch circulars, and I set that up and I knit a couple of rows on it. I'm enjoying it so far, and I'm hoping that will make the sleeves pretty easy to zip through. And the body's all done, so once the sleeves are done, I'll be able to wear it hopefully in the next couple weeks. I'm hoping that in my next podcast I will be able to share this as a finished object, but we'll have to see. And then my bigger work in progress, or like the thing I've been working on more that has distracted me from the caramel sweater, in addition to my headbands, is my Bibi sweater, which I had also mentioned. I forget if I mentioned it in my first podcast. I definitely mentioned it in my fall knitting plans video. But you'll see I have some, I think, really good progress on this. I've only been working on it for maybe about 2 weeks now, and I did not take it with me to Rhinebeck, so I missed out on like 3 days of knitting on this. So been like a week and a half, and it's just like so fun. I can't put it down, but it's like pretty simple because each row, even with the complex color work, any given row only has 2 colors going on. It is bottom up, which at first was like really annoying because there's like 6 centimeters of 2x2 ribbing, and it was knit, I think, on 2.5 millimeter needles, so that was a slog to get through. But then at the body, you switch to 3.5 millimeter needles, you switch to stockinette, you get into the colorwork chart, and from there it's super fun. I am actually making a vlog of my experience knitting this, kind of just updating whenever I get to a milestone and like sharing my thoughts on the process. And this is a project that requires steeking for the sleeve holes, so when I get to that, I probably will like film that and offer some context on how it goes. It's my first time steeking. But yeah, I mean, I don't even know what else to say about this project. It's just like so beautiful. You can see. I'm really pleased with the colors that I chose. I mentioned a little bit about the construction. It's bottom up. It is like drop shoulder. The entire body is knitted in the round, and then the sleeves are added through steeking. And what else is there to say? It's knit, I think I mentioned, on mostly 3.5 millimeter needles. I'm knitting it with Drops Flora held together with Drops Kid Silk in a bunch of different colors. Yeah, I just keep holding it up because I'm so proud of it. It's going so well. I love the like this part of the color work in particular. I really like that motif. I like the whole thing. I think it looks beautiful. So I'm really happy with that, and I am just blasting through. I probably want to convince myself to pause this in order to finish the caramel sweater sleeves, but it's hard because this is so much fun. I think I might finish the body of this, and then I probably will procrastinate on the steeking, and I will allow myself to procrastinate on the steeking so that I can finish the caramel sweater, and then I'll come back to this. That's my plan, and kind of like playing myself. So we will we'll see how that goes. I'm excited to update and hopefully share my project vlog going into a little more detail on that experience. But yeah, I can't say enough good things about this so far, and I'll have to report back after the steeking experience. I also want to show my floats. I'm really proud of my floats, actually. I feel like they look really good. So tidy. I'm like being very conscientious about float management and everything like that. And I guess I can show you guys as well. This is like the steeking area here. So you can see every round from the armpit, you like purl a few stitches, and that indicates where I will put in the sleeve. Here's one on the other side. So yeah, really enjoying that one. And then next, I think I will get into my acquisitions. So I feel like I didn't have that many different projects to share here, but I had like 7 headbands, so that is kind of a lot, and a few sweaters, which are larger projects. So yeah, I think next I can get into my acquisitions. The first thing is, like I mentioned, I got, where did I put it? Nope, that's not it. Oh, here it is. It's under the headbands. This is the 16-inch set that I got. I wound up getting the one from Knit Picks. I had asked for recommendations for a 16-inch interchangeable set in my previous video, and thank you to anyone who gave a recommendation. I definitely remember seeing a rec for Chowgu, but I just didn't, feel ready or feel the need to make that financial commitment. And this one actually was on sale. I think it was like 20 or more % off. So I wound up getting this set for $50, which is not, I think, too bad for an interchangeable set. It comes with 3.5 through 6 millimeter tips. So there are 7 sets of tips, and I just want to show you guys. I think the tips are so cute. They're so little. And here's like another little one. I love them. I got the mosaic set, the mosaic wood. I really like wood tips better. So they're like different mosaic colors. It comes with 2 16-inch cords. You can always get more. It comes with 2 sets of end caps and like little tightening screws. And yeah, I'm happy with it so far. I literally just started using it for the caramel sweater and just tested it out a little, but I think it'll be nice. I'll update on how it goes. And so that was my main like supplies acquisition, and then I have kind of a lot to share in terms of yarn acquisitions. So the main thing contributing to this is that I was so lucky to win one of the New York City Yarn Crawl raffle prizes at the Brooklyn General Store. So I won this tote bag, and it's funny because I had considered buying a tote bag at the yarn crawl, but I decided not to, and then I got one for free, and then I got a ton of yarn in here, which I'll show, and then I also got a $150 gift card, which I immediately used to buy more yarn. So that was so exciting. I've never won a raffle before, I don't think, nothing like that, so that was super exciting. I'm going to take out the yarn that I chose and then show that at the end. I'm going to first show what I got for free. So the first one I want to talk about is this, actually, this is a little chaotic, but I think I'm going to intersperse what I got in the raffle and what I got at Rhinebeck, and hopefully you'll see why in a second, but I'm going to be really clear on like where I got everything. So the first ball of yarn I want to talk about is this beautiful royal blue color, which is from the brand, actually it's hard to tell what brand it is. I think it's either Sweet or Circulo, and then the yarn is Brazilian Merino. Or it's possible that the brand is Circulo and the yarn is called Sweet and then the fiber is Brazilian Merino. I'm not quite sure. But that's all the information that I can give you. This skein, I assume is 100 grams. I don't know if it says. I would guess 100 grams, 300 meters. And so what weight is this? Maybe like a DK? It says 4mm needles. And oh yeah, it's definitely Circulo Yarns is the brand. So maybe the yarn line is called Sweet. It's medium soft. I think it's a 2-ply, kind of like medium tightly spun. And I do think it's a really beautiful color, and I've never tried this brand before. I've never tried Brazilian Merino before, so that's pretty cool. And the reason I said I would intersperse is because at Rhinebeck, I decided to get this Surrey silk yarn to hold together with this for a headband, and then I'll definitely have some of both left over that I could use for a different project, either together or separately. So this yarn that I got at Rhinebeck is from the brand Utopia, like EWE, like sheep, and the line of yarn is called Surrey and Silk, which is 65% baby Surrey alpaca and 35% silk. It's 50 grams and 355 yards. And I believe this was $30. So it is so freaking soft. I'm like in my Surrey era. I kept saying that at Rhinebeck, like I'm just in a phase where I'm obsessed with Surrey. Not even that I've like bought that much or knit that much of it, but just every time I see Surrey, I love her. This color I thought was so beautiful. I think I actually was I was looking at this line of yarn. There were a few colors that were really drawing me, and then once I had already decided, okay, I think I want to buy one of those, I was like, I have that one at home that I don't know what to do with, and maybe I can put them together and make something beautiful. So I'm very excited about that purchase. The next one I want to talk about is this guy, which is from the brand Loopy Mango, and the line of yarn is called Mohair So Soft. It's 47% Super Kid Mohair, 53% Extra Fine Merino. This is 50 grams, and it contains 65 yards or 60 meters. And I don't know if it has a suggested needle size, but it's pretty interesting. It's quite thick. And then, did I say this is in the color Mimosa? So it's super bright and fun, but I wasn't sure what to do with this. And then at Rhinebeck, Loopy Mango actually had a stall, and so I wound up getting this ball, which is in the color Like a Virgin. So it's obviously like a white, off-white color. And I thought, this is such an accent color, or like a bright color, that would be fun to get this. And I'm thinking about doing some sort of color work, maybe like a matching hat and mittens. And at the stall in person, I did get to see some samples, and they said 1 ball is enough to make a hat, and then a sweater only requires like 5 balls, and it's held single for like a size small sweater. But I was really intrigued by that, and it is like really fluffy. Just like one strand is like actually pretty thick. So it's really interesting to see this. It obviously, I mean, it is more than half merino, but I don't know, it's intriguing. It's like a mohair, but kind of an unusual mohair. And it's really, really, really soft. It's not at all scratchy. Like, I would 100% wear this against the skin. It's actually crazy. It's so soft. I don't know if I've ever felt a mohair that's so soft. So really interesting. How much was this? I think it was like $23, which obviously is a little pricey. Well, I don't know. That Surrey was $30 for 50 grams, but I was a little spendy at Rhinebeck. Yeah, I think it was a good deal for what it is. You can make an entire hat, and I got this one for free, so they're gonna work together and make something cute, and I'm excited. Let's see, next one I can mention, and also like with any of these, the ones I've already mentioned and I've stated what I want to use them for, so like that's all set. But then for a lot of these, like I only have 1 ball, so I'm not quite sure what to use it for. I might have to like look in my stash, see if I could combine it with anything. But if you have any ideas, or if you've used any of these yarns before, please let me know below. Of course, I can always make like hats, headbands, mittens, mitts, things like that. But if you have any, more creative ideas, definitely let me know. Or if you have any particular patterns that you think would be nice. So this next one is a really interesting ball. This is Louisa Harding Tula Tweed, which they say is a modern blend featuring merino wool, recycled cotton, and eco-friendly recycled nylon. So let's see the specs on this. It's 100 grams. It's 350 meters. It recommends a 6mm needle. So what would that be, like Aran weight or virgin, even maybe on like bulky? And then the construction is interesting. It looks like a chainette construction with like blown fibers through it. So it's 49% virgin wool, 26% cotton, 13% nylon, 8% acrylic, 4% viscose. So it's an interesting blend. It has like these tweedy bits in it as well. And then the whole thing is kind of like a self-striping or gradient rainbow effect. So I mean, this is a really cool looking ball of yarn. It's really beautiful. It's really soft, not scratchy at all, again, even though it's almost half wool. Color 104 Fingal, Fingall. So it's kind of a chunky one, even though it's 100 grams. It's not very dense. So this is an interesting one. I'm not quite sure what to make out of it. Maybe like some sort of cowl would be cool, because it feels and it looks like it would be, more than enough for a hat. And I feel like maybe a cowl would be a cool way to like let the color gradient show. Maybe even like the Shift Cowl by Andrea Mowry. I don't know how, probably this isn't enough for that though. But that's one I know calls for a color gradient in the yarn, I believe. So something to consider. I've been wanting to try out that pattern, but definitely let me know if you have any other ideas for this guy. It's a pretty cool one, but a little bit out there, outside of my comfort zone, so we'll have to see. Next is this beautiful Pima cotton. This is from the brand Juniper Moon Farm. It's called Ultimate Pima, and it's so soft, and it has like that beautiful Pima cotton, like it's almost like a luster to it. This is 100 grams, 200 meters, 100% Pima cotton, and it recommends 3.75 to 4.5 millimeter needles. And this is a tricky one, because I feel like with cotton, you're not gonna make a hat or mittens or something with cotton, I don't think. So I would usually use cotton to make like a t-shirt or a tank top or something like that. Maybe I could make like a bralette, but I don't even know if 200 meters is enough. So that's a tricky one, because I also don't think I have any cotton yarn of this gauge in my stash. So definitely let me know if you have any ideas on that. I really like this color. Beautiful. The yarn itself is like beautiful quality, but I'm not quite sure what to do with it. So I would love to know if you have any advice there. Next, I got a little mini. This is from the brand Yarn Over New York, and this is called the Alphabet City Mini. The tweed sock yarn, which is 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon, and what are minis usually, like 20 grams? Oh yeah, 20 grams, 87 yards, and this is the colorway Ultramarine. This is another one that has like some tweedy flecks in it, and obviously such a small amount, I'm not quite sure what to use it for. So let me know if you have any ideas for a mini, or I could obviously just save it and see if other minis come along. And that one, yeah, also not very itchy, not itchy at all, really smooth. So that's a nice one. The next one I'm really excited about. This is Malabrigo, and this is the yarn Dos Tierras in the color 363 Pascal, which I think is a beautiful sage green color. This is 100 grams, 210 yards, or 193 meters, and the fiber content is half merino wool, half baby alpaca, and it's recommended 3.75 to 4 millimeter needles, so that's like a DK weight, and it is 2-ply, I think, kind of like loosely to medium wound. So I really like this one. I'm not quite sure yet, again, what I will make out of it, but I feel like this one could be nice for a beanie. I don't know what it is about these different yarns. Like, they call me to different things, but this one I think calls me to a beanie, or maybe to fingerless mitts, because I was going to make those for the bachelorette, but I decided not to, so could be fun. I already have a pattern picked out for that. So yeah, I really like this one. Again, this is so soft. I feel like all of these yarns are really nice and soft. Yeah, 0% scratchy. I love this one. I'm like definitely in a Malabrigo kick now as well. I had never purchased it before. I'd heard a lot about it. I'd looked at it and thought it was beautiful, but for whatever reason, I kind of just restrained myself from buying it. And now I would definitely love to use it more and even make a larger garment out of it. So we'll see what that brings. The next, this is, yeah, I mean, this raffle was amazing. I got so many yarns. This is the second last one. So this one is from the brand Mirasol, and the yarn is Chi-Chi, which is a mix of superfine alpaca, linen, and bamboo tweed. So it's 30% alpaca, 30% linen, 25% viscose, and 15% micro tweed, which you can hopefully see. And it's this beautiful kind of like lavender color, pinky lavender. It is 100 grams, 200 meters, recommended needle size 3.75 to 4.5 millimeters. You notice I never use the numbers. I always just use the millimeters. I don't know why. I think when I very first started knitting, I used the numbers, but now I just usually go by millimeters. This one is a little scratchy. It's not as soft as the others. And this one, again with the tweed, I'm not in the color. I don't know if this is like a nice color for me. I'm not quite sure what I'll do with this one. Maybe I will give it away. Maybe it'd be fun if I save it once I hit like a milestone of subscribers. This is one I could give away because it is a beautiful yarn. It's just not my color. I think it's a bit more cool toned. So I don't know. If you do have any ideas for this one, let me know, but that might be one that I have to de-stash. And I was wrong. I have two more actually. So this one is from the brand Lamb's Pride. And this is worsted weight, 85% wool, 15% mohair, and the color is Jaded Lagoon. This is 100 grams, 173 meters, and it recommends a needle size of 8. So, I mean, it's worsted weight. This one is scratchy, for sure. This is one of the scratchier ones. I don't know. I don't think I'm that sensitive to scratchiness, though. Like, it doesn't bother me, but I can feel it's, like, much rougher than the other ones. It's beautiful. We'll have to see. What would I do? And actually, it's not 100 grams. It's 113 grams, so it's a little more. We'll have to see with this one. It is single ply, which I really love single ply yarns. And, yeah, again, this is one that, I don't know if this is... I always hold it up here to imagine it as a hat. Obviously, I could hold it down here as well. I also think this is maybe not the best color for me. Neither is black, but I wear black all the time. I don't know. Again, we'll have to see if I make anything of that. And then the last skein that I was so lucky to receive is, again, by the brand Juniper Moon Farm. This is the yarn line Zoe, which is a 60% cotton, 40% linen blend, 100 grams and 260 meters. So maybe this would be like a sport weight. It's recommended 3.25 to 3.75 millimeter needles, and it's I don't know what the color name is. Arise. It's just black. And I was really excited to receive this one. Actually, I've been wanting to try out like a cotton linen blend for the summer. I don't know if I'll use it soon, but I would love to save it for next summer. And I immediately actually asked them if they have this line or this brand in stock. And they do not carry it, sadly. But I think that's what the raffle was trying to do, was trying to advertise, and I fell for it. I really like this yarn. It's not, as soft as like the Pima cotton or anything, but it seems nice. And I had to then kind of mix and match with what they did have in store. So I wound up choosing this yarn, which is already caked, but they didn't have a black even in another brand, so I decided I will do something like striped or with Colorwork. And then this is from the brand Ritual Dyes, and the yarn is Undyne DK, obviously DK weight, 60/40 organic cotton and linen, so quite similar. And this one has 273 grams, sorry, too many numbers, 273 yards per 100 grams. This one has 284 yards per 100 grams. So very similar. I think close enough. This one I did buy using my gift card, and it was $26. And this is in the color Quartzite. So it is kind of like a grayish beige, slightly like lavendery beige. I think that'll be really nice for like a summer stripe top. I feel like I have this clear image in my mind, and for some reason I'm like, oh yeah, I'm sure you guys can telepathically imagine what I'm talking about, but maybe not. I'm imagining like a little similar to this, but like not with, my bra strap's really coming out. I want it to come further onto the shoulders. I don't want it to be like tight, but I also don't want it to be like super oversized, just kind of like a couple inches of positive ease, horizontal stripes, like I said, scoop neck, like kind of thick tank top. I think that'd be cute. I'll see if I can find a pattern, or I feel like that's the kind of thing that I would probably be open to self-drafting. So that is all the yarn that I got for free, and then I also shared the first thing that I chose with the gift card, just for the sake of my space. I'm gonna pack all of this back up. And I know I already mentioned it, but I'm just gonna say again, I felt like so lucky and so happy to win that raffle. I've never won anything like that, and it was very, very exciting, and just, so amazing. So I'm gonna put that guy away. The next thing I bought with my gift card was a second skein of a yarn that I think I shared previously, because I bought one skein at the yarn crawl. I got home, I kind of immediately second guessed and wished that I had bought a second skein. And this is Illimani Sabri in the color Bone. And this is an 85% organic cotton, 15% baby alpaca. So soft, so delightful. You'll see all of the ones that I got with the gift card, I had them cake up for me. And this is, does it even say? Oh yeah, it does. So this is, I assume, 100 grams, and it's 400 meters, so it's like a fine fingering weight yarn. And I think I mentioned in my New York City yarn crawl video, I want to make a tank top for my post-wedding brunch, and I already have a tank top in mind. I don't know what I was thinking when I got one skein. Like, to make the tank top that I'm thinking of, this will need to be held double. So it worked out perfectly that I got a second one. And actually, when I went back, they only had one skein left in this color. So the fates were on my side. It is hard to get this little guy back in there. I don't want to lose it. Okay. There we go. So I have the second one. Phew, I was so relieved. I saw the one and I was like, eek! Immediately grabbed. So very happy with that. The next thing I got is a Surrey. So beautiful. This is from the brand La Bien Aimee, or Aimee. And this is their little Kumo yarn, which is 400 meters per 50 grams, 65% baby Surrey, 35% silk in the color Pretty Pink. So it's this very light blush pink. And this is obviously a pretty fine lace weight. And it is so soft, so amazing. I just fell in love with the color. They, again, only had one skein of this, so it almost felt like a sign when I was considering. I kind of committed to getting some yarn from this line, and I just decided on the little pink one. So I'm thinking of making either like a very loose gauge, like almost t-shirt, or like very oversized tank top, or making a tank top that has like the dropped stitches intentionally, or I don't know, just like a very open gauge. I don't know. One of the employees was saying, I told her my idea, and she said it might look like skin toned, like it might look like I'm naked or kind of odd, but I could always wear it over a white shirt or over a black shirt. Like, I don't think I could wear it without anything underneath anyway. So my hope is that it would be okay. And from feeling this yarn so far, it actually doesn't seem like it will shed very much. So that's nice. And I could easily wear it over another shirt. So that idea is still kind of processing in my mind. I don't know exactly how it'll turn out, but I just feel like it's never bad to have like such a beautiful yarn like this. And I think this one was like $39, so it's pretty pricey. I think La Bien Aimee in general is like a very pricey brand, but it's like a luxury. And I would never have probably bought this if I didn't have the gift card, so I just thought it'd be nice to like treat myself. And I'm very, very excited. I think it's so beautiful. And then the last thing, last but certainly not least, this is maybe what I'm most excited about. This is also from La Bien Aimee, and this is their silk mohair. So let me get the little deets for you. This is their yarn mohair silk. It's 70% mohair, 30% silk, 500 meters per 50 grams, so very fine. And this is in the color Lys, and it's $38 per skein. So I just, again, fell in love with this color. Like, look at that shine and that luminance, like, so beautiful. There were, a bunch of color options, but I was just really drawn to this one. I got 2 skeins so that I can make, wow, I feel like my brain just totally turned off. What am I going to make with this? Oh, I think I wanted to make originally a slip over, but then I also found like a tank top pattern that looked pretty cute, so I might put both of those here so you can see, and you can always let me know down below which one you think I should make. And I do typically try to buy yarn for a pattern. Like, I try not to buy yarn if I have no idea what I would make with it. So I was like there in the store looking up what patterns I can make with this mohair because I fell in love with it, and then in order to buy it, even though I was using the gift card, I needed to justify it with a pattern. So I think now that I have 2 ideas, and I'm pretty sure the amount of yarn I got would work for either of those, I was pretty happy. And I don't know if I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels this way. Sometimes when I get yarn and I'm really excited about it, I actually don't feel like, oh, I want to cast this on immediately. Like, there's something that I really like about just having it in my stash so that I can know it's there and I can kind of see it when I pass by my stash. So I feel like this is a yarn like that where I'm actually not in a rush to use it because it's just so beautiful that I just enjoy having it. But I'm sure I'll enjoy once it's in a garment as well. But there's just something about these little cakes and how luminous they are, and like, I don't know, I just love them. So yeah, not in a rush to cast on that project, but I feel like I am very excited about all of my fall projects, and I'm kind of in a rush to cast those on, so we'll have to see. I have one more thing to show you, which is my final purchase from Rhinebeck. I feel like I was actually very restrained. I did seriously consider buying an Angora rabbit, which would not have been restrained, but I did not. I was reined in by my fiance. This is my last purchase. I had a goal of purchasing 3 skeins at Rhinebeck, and I did. I've been seeing all these TikToks about, what did you think you were going to spend and how much did you actually spend? And I feel like part of me kind of wanted to be that version of events and wanted to ball out, but I feel like I don't know. I was going to say, like, I rarely regret not buying the yarn. Sometimes I regret if I buy too much yarn, but I definitely sometimes regret not buying the yarn if then I can't get it later. Like with the Illimani Sabri, I regretted not getting a second skein. But with these, I took photos of a lot of things. I think I should be able to hopefully, buy online or buy in a local store if I do want to. And I'm planning to go back to Rhinebeck next year. So I'm on a ramble. This is the final skein. Look how beautiful that color is. I'm obsessed with her. This is from the brand Neighborhood Fiber Co. And this is the rustic fingering yarn. 4 ounces, which is like 113 grams, I think, 475 yards. and it's 100% organic merino. And this is a single ply fingering, which I think I mentioned a minute ago. I love single ply, and for some reason right now, it's not for some reason, I know why it is. It's because of the Yakima yarn. I just fell in love with single ply fingering from that yarn. There's just something about it that I loved, and I wanted to get like a bajillion colors of this. Their colors were so beautiful. I really could see myself ordering some online or finding a local store that stocks it, because their color selection was like one of the most beautiful that I've ever seen. And I think it was like also the single ply fingering weight that was getting me. I don't know. I love it. This is in the color Ednor Gardens, which obviously is like a periwinkle blue purple. So gorgeous. I don't even know if this is a color that flatters me that much, but sometimes it doesn't matter. Sometimes the color just stands alone. And I am planning to make a tank top with this. I forget the name of the pattern, but I'll put it here. And I did my thing. I looked on my phone, I found a pattern, I saved it in my favorites. I think it was already in my favorites actually, and then I justified my purchase. So I stuck to my standard that I can buy a yarn if I have a project in mind for it. So I'm very excited, but I will not be casting that on until next summer. And it's kind of ironic because just like a month ago, I was like, I never want to make another fingering weight tank top. I never want to have to use my like 2.5 millimeter needles again. But I fell for it. I think by next summer I'll be emotionally recovered, and I'll be able to pick back up my fingering weight knits. But yeah, I am very excited. This is probably my favorite of all my acquisitions. Actually, no, this or this. These are my two favorites. Everything is beautiful, but these colors just get me. And I'm very excited to use them, but I'm also, like I said, very excited to have them in my stash for the next few months and look at them. So, I don't even know how long this video was. I was chatty today. I'm in a silly chatty mood. I feel like as I get more comfortable with my videos and my podcast, hopefully my personality will come through a little more. I feel like I was a little formal in the first few videos, because it's just kind of unusual and kind of like unfamiliar, awkward to be talking to the camera, but hopefully today a little more of my personality came through, and hopefully that will continue. So if you made it this far, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed my slightly chaotic acquisition section, and my slightly, shorter, more simple whips and finished objects. And I will look forward to hopefully, seeing you back here soon. Leave a comment if you have any feedback on the stuff I've shared today. If you have any pattern ideas, especially for that raffle yarn. With single skeins, it's always hard. Maybe for a future podcast, something I could do would be to like look through my stash and like see what I could pair things with and share some ideas here. I've never seen necessarily something like that. Like I've seen obviously like my seasonal knitting plans, but I haven't seen like a project planning. Like here's my stash, like here's what I'm considering, what should I make with it, and kind of like showing the thought process of that. If you have seen a video like that, let me know. But now I'm rambling again, so I'm going to sign off here. I will upload my Rhinebeck video soon, and I'll be back with podcasts and other videos in the future. So thank you again for watching. I hope you like, comment, subscribe, and I will be back soon. Bye.